My father, he would get his electric bill and the water bill, and he wouldn't go home. He would stop and pay it before he got home. I mean,
Right.
I don't want to owe anybody anything. So
That's something.
they instilled that. And of course, my mother worked there at the drugstore all those years. And it gave the biggest 5-cent ice cream cone of anybody in the world. I'm telling you, these little kids that come in, and some of them didn't have a nickel. They may have 3 cents, but
Right.
to my mother, they all got the big ice cream cone. So, but my parents, that was a great influence on me. Still are.
Yeah. Where were they from? I mean, like, where was your mother from originally that she wound up at war?
My mother was born there.
Okay.
She was born in Susanna. You know where Susanna is?
No, I don't.
That's that. Before you get to number 1 Yukon, now it's the forks of the road.
Okay.
Where you turn and go to.
I didn't know it was called that.
That used to be
right?
called Susanna.
I didn't know that.
She was born there at Susanna, and my dad was born in Matoka.
Okay.
And his father came to the old Warrior Mines up there.
Right.
He worked there, but he was killed when my dad was 7 years old. And my mother grew up there in the Cove, but they're both, they were war residents. My dad
Right.
from the time he was a little boy, and my mother her whole life, never lived anywhere else.
Right.
And died as residents of war.
My mom still lives right there where her and dad, she's lived in the same house all of her life, probably 6 months. And that's when it burnt down. And then he rebuilt it and she moved back
Wow.
again. The same place. And when dad passed away, I thought, well, like, bring her over here, bring her closer and stuff like that. But she got people to look out for her right there.
Yeah.
To go to the store for her, go to the post office for her. That's where she's comfortable. And, I told her I would never, you can't make her do anything anyway. I wouldn't try. She's too tough. But I mean, she's healthier than I am. Okay. But I think about things that she's comfortable where she's at and she likes where she is. And that's a big part.
My mother moved in with me. Of course, she never gave up her house or anything, and she moved in with me about the last 6 months she was living, and it was just a necessity. It was better, and she didn't want a nursing home. I didn't want a nursing home.
Right,
so
right.
She moved in with me, and
Yeah. And your dad was born in Matoka.
Matoka.
Yeah. I'm telling you something. You can trace the greats back to McDowell County. I don't care what anybody says. I'm a real firm believer, and we don't even call it McDowell County. We call it the county.
McDowell or the county,
the county,
or the Free State.
When you say you're from the county,
or the patch.
Yeah, that's exactly. You say you're from the county.
From the
people
county.
know exactly, and you don't have to explain yourself, and and say, all right, where I'm from. This is. I laughed one time. I went to England. And I done a lot of work in England, and I almost needed an interpreter while I was over there.
I've been there to understand that.
I said my accent was they could tell it just fine. And I went one time, I was in California doing some work, and I'd ordered at a real nice restaurant. I was with some guys that was really cool. And anyway, we saw, so I ordered, and the lady said, "Would you order again? It sounds like poetry when you speak." She said, "I said, ma'am, this is just natural."
My grandmother, like I said, she came over from Scotland, caught a train from Ellis Island to Roanoke, and was staying with some distant relatives there. When she got off the train, my grandfather was coming from North Carolina, and he was switching trains.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I looked at him and thought, and he looked at her, and she said, "Do you ever believe in love at first sight?" And she said, "We talked about an hour."
Uh-huh.
And he said, "I'm going to West Virginia to get a job in the coal mines, but I'm going to come back here and find you. Tell me who you're staying with." And about 6 months later, he came back and stayed a couple of days in Roanoke, and got married and took my grandmother back to war.
Ain't that cool?
And she died in war.
Ain't that something?
Died in war.
Man, I don't know. I think my family grew up right there. We're all from there.
Well, you know where my grandmother lived, up on the hill there.
Right, yes, sir.
Across from the little park. So, it's...
Everybody, that we grew up there and lived there, and it was just, I don't know, it was times change, though, don't they, brother? I mean, they really
Yes,
do.
sir. Yeah.
And we can act like they don't, but things are different. And, I mean, when you think about people that really influenced your young life growing up, whether coming out of high school or where you was, who were some people that really influenced you?
A lot of people say Frida Riley. She did influence me. She was too hard. But your dad. I've told this story many times. Reverend A.J. Gardner. I don't know if you remember
I remember
A.J.
Brother Gardner. Yeah, sure. Brother Sister Gardner.
I know you don't remember McDaniels.
No, I
You
heard
probably
him talk
heard about
him
him.
talk
but-
about
but
him. Yeah.
I would. They said I would yell at him, call him McDaniel. But Brother Gardner was a gunsmith.
I didn't know that.
And he
I was
fixed
real
guns,
little
and
then.
he let me shoot my first .22. We went down to the creek bank, and first time I shot, I hit a bottle that he threw out in the creek, and couldn't hit anything since then. And him, and then Mario Paletti.
Right.
I just love Mario, and you know about tough now. He was tough on us.
Cut from a different cloth, wasn't it?
Very much a different cloth.
Him and Coach Strom.
And,
all
well,
those.
now, I ended up refereeing ball with Fred Strom till, years later. But Fred would come to my house and was having trouble with algebra, and he would come to my house on Sundays and tutor me to make sure that my dad, I was passing, but my dad said, if you make below a C or B or whatever, you're not going to play football. So Fred would come, and Jimmy Jones.
Right.
Jimmy Jones.
Yes, sir.
Those are the ones that had the most. But of course, then lots of impressions.
Right.
I always admired O.C. Jaber.
Yeah.
Of course, we
That was the name,
we were
what?
neighbors.
Think about that name, OC, and I look back on that with Bill and all them. I think about that Bill, I think Bill's dad was Greek. I believe he was Greek.
I'm not sure.
He's been to Greece several times, and I think Bill's dad was Greek.
I was thinking Lebanese, but
It might have been.
But and then Buck Berry's, Joe.
I didn't know them.
And
Never
Leo
heard that.
Buck Berry. They were next door neighbors for a while, and then they moved to Coalwood. He became the assistant warden in Moundsville till he retired. And,
Well,
but now he ran right across from the Church of God Church, and you're probably too young to remember this, where the funeral home is now. It used to be a junkyard.
I didn't remember that.
Junkyard. And we would save up money and get $1 and go to the junkyard, though, and Joe Buckberry ran the junkyard.
Yeah.
And he would sell us a car top.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with that.